As we journey through life, many of us start to notice small changes. Perhaps you forget a name more easily now, or maybe you walk into a room and wonder why. These moments can bring a little worry with them. The fear of losing our memory is quite common. It is something many people think about, especially after 50. This concern is perfectly natural and understandable. We value our memories and our ability to think clearly. This essay is here to offer some gentle guidance. We will explore the topic of memory changes. We want to help you understand what might be happening. It is important to know the difference between normal aging and something more. Sometimes what seems like a big worry is just a part of getting older. Other times it might be a sign to look a little closer. Our aim is to give you information and support. We hope to reduce any anxiety you might feel. It is true that our brains change as we age. Just like other parts of our bodies, they go through a natural process. Some forgetfulness can be a normal part of this. Let us explore this together, calmly and clearly. We all forget things from time to time at any age. You might forget where you parked your car in a busy car park, or you might struggle to recall a detail from a recent conversation. These are often minor lapses and quite typical. However, when we talk about early signs of memory loss after 50, we are looking for patterns. These patterns are a bit different from everyday forgetfulness. They might be more frequent or more disruptive to your daily life. One subtle clue can be forgetting recently learned information more often. For example, you might repeatedly ask the same questions, or you might need reminders for things you used to handle easily. This is not just about forgetting once in a while. It is about a consistent difficulty retaining new facts or instructions. You might find yourself relying heavily on notes, or you might need family members to remind you of important things more than before. Another early sign can involve challenges in planning or solving problems. Perhaps following a familiar recipe suddenly becomes difficult. Recognizing them early is a key step. As we consider memory, it is also vital to look at daily functioning. Sometimes the first signs are not just about forgetting facts. They can appear as new difficulties in completing familiar tasks. These are activities you have done countless times before. Suddenly, they might seem confusing or hard to manage. This can be a very subtle but important indicator of underlying changes. It is more than just needing a bit more time to do something. Think about tasks you do almost automatically. This could be operating a familiar appliance like the microwave, or it might be playing a favorite game with established rules. If you find yourself struggling with the steps involved, it is worth noting. Perhaps you get confused driving to a place you know well, or you find it hard to organize your thoughts to complete a simple project at home. These are examples of what we mean by challenges with familiar tasks. This difficulty is different from learning a new, complex skill. It is natural to take time to learn something new. But when well-practiced routines become problematic, it signals something else. Language is a complex function of our brain. We use it every day to communicate our thoughts and feelings. Subtle changes in language abilities can be an early sign of memory issues. This is not about occasionally searching for the right word. That happens to everyone, especially when tired or distracted. We are talking about more persistent difficulties with words and conversation. These changes can be quite concerning for the person experiencing them. One common sign is increased trouble finding words. You might pause frequently in conversations, struggling to name familiar objects. Or you might substitute words, sometimes using a general term like thing. For example, you might say the thing for writing instead of pen. This can make conversations feel more effortful. It can also lead to frustration for both the speaker and the listener. It's a noticeable shift from your usual way of speaking. Another aspect is difficulty following or joining a conversation. You might lose track of what others are saying, or you might find it hard to keep up with the flow of discussion. Section 5. Misplacing items, more than just absent-mindedness. We all misplace things like keys or glasses from time to time. It is a common human experience. often due to being busy or distracted. Usually, we can retrace our steps and find the lost item. However, when misplacing things becomes very frequent, it might be a concern, especially if items are put in unusual places. For example, finding your spectacles in the refrigerator would be quite out of the ordinary. This pattern can be an early sign. The key difference lies in the frequency and the inability to retrace steps. A person with normal age-related forgetfulness might forget where they put their wallet, but they can usually think back and figure it out. Someone with early cognitive changes might misplace it often. They might also be unable to recall any of the steps they took. This can lead to frustration and sometimes even suspicion if they think others are moving their things. This type of memory problem is more than just being a bit disorganized. It reflects a deeper issue with how the brain is processing and storing information. Section 6. Shifts in mood and personality. An unexpected sign. Changes in memory and thinking are not the only signs to watch for. Sometimes, shifts in mood or personality can also be early indicators. These changes can be subtle at first. They might be easily dismissed as stress or just a bad mood. However, if they are persistent and out of character, they are worth noting. Our brain health is closely linked to our emotional state and how we behave. This is an important connection to understand. You might notice someone becoming more withdrawn or anxious. They might lose interest in hobbies or social activities they once enjoyed. Perhaps they become easily upset or agitated for no clear reason. Conversely, some people might show uncharacteristic suspicion or fear. These are not just fleeting emotions, they represent a more lasting change in their typical demeanor. Family members are often the first to notice these personality shifts. These mood changes can sometimes be a direct result of cognitive difficulties. Imagine feeling confused or unable to follow conversations. Section 7. Normal aging or something more. Drawing the line. It is crucial to understand the difference between normal age-related memory changes and more serious conditions. As we age, some cognitive slowing is natural. You might need more time to learn new things. You might sometimes forget names or appointments but recall them later. You might occasionally misplace items but can find them by retracing steps. These are generally considered part of the normal aging process. They typically do not disrupt your daily life significantly. Mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, sits in a middle ground. It involves more noticeable memory or thinking problems than normal aging. However, these problems are not severe enough to interfere significantly with daily activities. A person with MCI might forget important events or conversations more often. They might struggle with complex tasks they used to manage well, but they can still live independently. MCI can sometimes be a risk factor for developing dementia, but not everyone with MCI will progress. Early-stage dementia, such as early Alzheimer's disease, involves more significant impairment. Memory loss becomes more persistent and affects daily life. Section 8. Your doctor's visit. What to expect and how to prepare. If you have concerns about your memory, speaking to your doctor is vital. It can feel daunting, but it is a positive move towards understanding and support. Your GP is usually the first point of contact. They can listen to your concerns and conduct an initial assessment. They can also refer you to a specialist if needed. Preparation can make this visit more productive. Before your appointment, make some notes. Write down specific memory problems or thinking changes. Include when they started and how often they occur. Note any tasks that have become difficult. Mention any changes in mood or personality. If you have been misplacing things, write down examples. Also, list any medications you are currently taking. This information is very helpful for your doctor. During the appointment, your doctor will ask you questions. They will want to know about your symptoms and medical history. Section 9. Embracing brain health, a path forward together. Receiving information about memory loss can feel overwhelming, but knowledge truly is power. Understanding the early signs is the first step towards taking control. It allows for proactive monitoring of your cognitive health. It also empowers you to seek help when it is needed. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Many resources and supportive professionals are available to guide you. Please do not let fear hold you back from seeking advice. Proactive health monitoring is key as we age. This includes paying attention to your brain health. Just as you monitor your blood pressure or cholesterol, be mindful of your cognitive function. Notice any persistent changes in your memory, thinking, or mood. Discuss these openly with your family and your doctor. Early detection of any potential issues can make a significant difference. It can open doors to interventions and support that can improve quality of life. Lifestyle choices also play a crucial role in brain health. Engaging in regular physical activity is beneficial. Eating a balanced, brain-healthy diet is important. Staying socially active and mentally engaged also helps.